Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again it is Sunday, and that means it's time for the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. And also, happy Independence Day. It's July the 4th, 2021, and I hope you guys are having as wonderful a weekend as I am. If you're unfamiliar with this weekly segment that I put out, obviously it's about a poll question. I ask you as my viewers and subscribers something that deals with guns, gun culture, gun media, maybe something that happened in the news, and I want to get your opinions and thoughts on. I like to see your comments, and I want you guys to interact with each other and vote for the top rated comments of the week, which I will read here in this video. As my channel has grown, my interactions with my subscribers and viewers have changed over time. Now that I'm a little bit more visible, I'm starting to get to that point where my channel is starting to get more trolls and people that are very negative, that for some reason don't like me, and that's perfectly okay. I know that I'm not everybody's cup of tea. My video style and my shooting style might not be yours, but for some reason people feel that they need to demean me. Does it bother me? Absolutely not. But I'm always surprised, because I try to be a positive influence for the Second Amendment, how people that are also, I'm assuming, on my side would want to treat somebody like myself. There are a lot of firearms channels out there on YouTube. Some I really like, some I don't. Some that I disagree with, and some I think are the absolute best. You know what I do? If there's a channel that I don't agree with, but I know they have followers, I don't say anything. I don't interact with them. I don't give them thumbs down. I don't even comment. I'm just not going to waste my time of the day with them. But it doesn't mean that they're still not serving a positive purpose for the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment is a very diverse community. You have everybody from hunters to collectors to sports shooters to competition shooters to people that just want to be the self-defense guy and the tactician and go out and do all the courses where you put on the plate carriers and go run in the dirt. We're all different, but we all love our firearms. We all love the Second Amendment, and I look at us as being all under one umbrella. And so I try to put out content that I think is positive and uplifting, so that somebody who might not be a Second Amendment advocate or even care about guns would look at the channel and go, that person is positive, and so maybe I need to learn a little bit more about this Second Amendment and the gun culture, and not turn my blind eye to something that could be very positive about American culture in general. But I've discovered that sometimes things can get really toxic here on YouTube. As I said, I have many trolls, people that say very negative things. I have people that just downvote my video as soon as they come out because maybe sometime in the past I disagreed with them about some gun. I find it to be very pedantic and very silly, but so be it. Some people just want to be negative, and that's fine with me because it's still an audience interaction here on YouTube. But I will say that when it comes to other channels, I can see why some people think the YouTube community in general, when it deals with guns, can be quite negative. So I tailored this week's poll question to talk about it. So let's dive right into that. For the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week 25, being a firearms YouTuber, I create and consume a lot of internet gun media. I also interact with a lot of people, from subscribers to basic viewers all the way down to the ignorant and trollish keyboard warriors. Sometimes I see I have to deal with a lot of ignorant, wrong, vile, and hateful comments. This got me thinking about the state of the online firearms community and whether or not it is toxic and turns off many would-be Second Amendment supporters. Do you think the general state and demeanor of the online gun community is positive, neutral, or negative to the future of the Second Amendment and the gun culture as a whole? And so as I'm reading this question, it reminds me of many of the negative interactions I've had here on YouTube, sometimes with viewers and subscribers, and of course with other channels. There are certain niches within the Second Amendment community that for some reason are very exclusive. They don't like people to come into their fold, and if you don't agree with them 100%, they belittle you, they make fun of you. I'll go ahead and tell you one of those groups. I know that sometimes people will make fun of me because of my lack of knowledge of AKs. I absolutely think the AK rifle is a wonderful platform. It is very historic, well designed, and well built. But sometimes I'll have a critique about an AK. And many people in the AK community, it's AK or nothing. If you don't agree with them or somebody that they hold up as a hero in their opinions, you are an absolute moron. I kind of find that turns people off. So why in the future would I want to support their rights to have their particular guns if they treat everyone else like trash? You know, I have a particular interest in a type of guns that I know maybe not everyone else is interested in. I personally like pistol caliber carbines and subguns. I know some people think those are silly, but I think that's perfectly okay because I support the right of everyone else to enjoy the types of firearms that they do. We are all in the same camp. We're all doing this together. And I don't belittle someone because they might have a negative opinion of pistol caliber carbines and say they're not effective, they're irrelevant now, they're obsolete, because other guns and cartridges have come out since those were more popular in World War I and World War II. I totally get it, but I like what I like, and I know that you like what you like. But we're all in it about guns. We're all here because we share this love of freedom. And that's what I think the focus of this channel should be. But let's dive right into the results of this week's poll question and see what you guys think. With 593 votes total in this week's poll, I have positive. Information is power, and the more of it, the better. 27%. Generally positive, but you wade through a lot of the bad though, 46%. Neutral, lots of good and lots of bad. It balances itself out, 16%. Generally negative, there is some good but too much divisiveness, 6%. And negative, too many trolls, know-it-alls, and angry divisive people, 4%. So the results of this poll don't surprise me too much. I know that there's a lot of positive out there. In fact, my subscriber base and the people that I interact with pretty much on a daily basis here on this channel prove it. I have a great feeling about the future of the Second Amendment. My interactions with people, even though some of them may disagree with me on particular issues or particular guns, are always positive. It is so heartwarming because I believe it plays into the philosophy of what I am trying to create here. It's an awesome community. Yeah, I have the occasional people that come in and tell me that I'm dumb or make fun of me for something, this or that. Yeah, even people tell me I'm bald. Did you guys know that? I didn't. Apparently someone needs to make fun of me and call me a bald MFer. Whatever, but that's just the way it is. There's always going to be those trolls, people that for some reason get joy and happiness from degrading others. Maybe they don't even get joy and happiness, but they feel that that is the way that you have to interact with other people. I don't understand it because I try to live life positively. Every interaction I have with people, even people that don't like me, the little times I have to deal with them, I try to be positive and upbeat and maybe bring a smile to someone's face. I know that personally I've gone through some very tough times in my life. And I learned that while I was extremely sad, I put on a very positive face to the rest of the world. And so I try to make all of my interactions positive because you never know the battles that somebody is fighting in their own personal lives. They may come across and go, yeah, everything is fine. But inside, they are truly, truly hurting and going through an amazingly dark time. And so even if my little interaction is brief, if I can bring a smile to their face, I can show them that the world is full of good, then I've done my little part in trying to help people. Not everybody's going to open up to what's going on, but sometimes just getting them to smile, letting them know that you think that they're nice, that they look nice, it's a wonderful day, and share some type of positive experience with them, it can change their whole outlook on life. And that's something that I want to pride myself on and have such positive interactions with other people. But let's go through this and I'll give you guys all of my personal thoughts. Positive. Information is power, and the more of it, the better. I agree with a lot of this, but I've discovered that since I've been in the YouTube community and consuming YouTube gun content for so long that I've kind of become exclusive with the content that I watch. And I won't say that I'm going out on YouTube a lot and looking for new types of channels, new channels in general. I've kind of stuck with what I know and what I like. Because over time, I've subscribed to channels and then had to unsubscribe to them for various reasons, or maybe the channels just simply go away, or I feel like the type of content that they put out generally goes from positive to negative, or they have a particular theme and then they change that theme. So I've kind of stuck with the more stable channels. A lot of them are the larger channels. I have a few small channels that I watch, but unfortunately they don't upload content as much as they should. In fact, that's where I have found most of the positive content is the smaller channels. I can list a whole bunch of them that I follow, and they're the ones that are out there trying to do what I do because they're not being bogged down by having to make money. It's not their full-time job, and obviously they're just trying to share a passion with other people. I have learned so much. When it comes to the smaller channels, I've learned a lot of gunsmithing tips from them. But when it comes to news and new guns coming out, I find that the larger channels are a little bit better for that. And yeah, sometimes I have to wade through the negativity, but in general, the more information I get, the better. I do agree with this one a little bit. Generally positive, but you wade through a lot of the bad though. I think that this was going to get the most amount of votes, and it did. I can tell you that the people that follow my channel probably feel this way. A lot of them have commented on various videos about other YouTube channels, and if you notice, I never really talk about other YouTube channels in a positive or negative way. I find that many of you are going to have a little bit different tastes than I do. So if I say I don't like this channel, well, there might be a lot of people that follow my channel that do like that channel. Or if I say, hey, I'm subscribed to this channel, and then some people say, I don't like that channel. I think he's a jerk. Well, I'm going to unsubscribe you. Well, I'm not here to make anybody mad. You watch the content that you want to watch. I have to wade through and have to understand where my tolerances are when it comes to my BS meter. And so I just pick and choose what I like. I know what I like, and so I try to make sure that I don't influence you or give you bad or negative thoughts about anybody else. But I know not every channel is that way, and especially the comment section below, you got to wade through a lot of stuff. So I totally get it. There's a lot of positive information out there, and I can see why a lot of people agree with this particular option. Then we have neutral, lots of good and lots of bad. It balances itself out. To be honest with you, this is kind of where I would vote. There is a lot of good out there, but there's so much bad. There's misinformation. There are people out there that just go around, and if you're, as I said, a particular type of gun owner, that you like a particular type of gun, anybody that disagrees with you, you go into the comment section and just feel like you have to belittle them, that you have to tell them how stupid they are. I get it all the time. I try to be upfront and honest with all of my range reports when I say, hey, I have a bias against this company, and here is why. And I'm just letting you know this up front so you can decide if that influenced my decision or my thoughts on that firearm. I don't hide it from you. I try to be honest, but because I'll say, hey, a company like Springfield Arms once supported gun control, but somebody absolutely loves Springfield, they'll tell me I'm a moron, and they'll belittle me. It's just the way they are. But I tell you guys up front, but I always say, if you guys disagree and you guys love a company like Springfield, by all means, go out and support them, buy their guns. I don't judge you. But because there's just so much negativity, and maybe as a content creator, I see it a lot more because my inbox can get bombarded by all of these comments and reactions to my videos where I really go out there and try to be positive, and I see so much negative interaction. It can kind of get you down a little bit, and I realize there's a lot of people out there in the Second Amendment community that can just be mean, and of course they're the first ones that complain when YouTube shuts things down, but yet when content creators like myself try to put out content, they belittle us. So you don't like YouTube comments and content, but yet you get mad when YouTube takes it down. It doesn't make any sense. They're keyboard warriors, and this is kind of where I would have voted if I was voting in the poll. Then we have generally negative. There is some good, but too much divisiveness. Now, I know that people that spend a lot of time online can kind of go down this rabbit hole of negativity. It is really easy. And especially those people that are generally good, positive, and upbeat people can really feel dragged down. And so I'm glad to only see that 6% of people thought this way. See, I find that if I'm surrounded by negative things, I'm going to get rid of those things in my life. I find it funny that a lot of people in the comments will say, hey, this channel is negative or this channel is bad. Then I go, well, why are you subscribed to them? As I mentioned before, if there's a channel that I don't like, I don't watch them. I don't thumbs down them. I don't talk bad about them because they might be doing positive in someone else's life. But if you feel like they're doing negative, don't watch them. I don't watch them. It's all about making your own choices and being responsible for the content that you consume. So don't let negative people bring you down. Just don't watch it. And then finally, negative, too many trolls, know-it-alls, and angry, divisive people, 4%. I'm glad it was only 4% here, but I totally get why people would feel that way. There is just so much hate, so much anger out there, and it truly does sadden me. I really wish I could change the world and take a lot of that away. And that's what I try to do here, as I mentioned, but I know I'm not always successful. So that's my thoughts on these results. So let's dive into the comments and see what you guys think with the top rated comments of the week. So the top rated comment of the week comes from Joe Morgan, one of my most loyal fans and subscribers. He says, "It's positive generally, but there is some very toxic behavior. No one innocent, but the people shaming one another for things that are gun related is wrong. We have to help everyone we can. The Second Amendment depends on new gun owners to live on." And I agree 100%. And that's why I make the content that I do, because someone that is new, that just went out and bought their first gun, might be a gun I've done a range report on, and their first interaction with the online gun community is with me, which means I'm bringing them into the fold, and this is all that they know. I want it to be positive. I want it to be intellectual. I want it to be rational without emotion. I don't want it to be hateful. So that's what I try to do, and I completely agree with Joe in his comment here. Next we have Eric Plank, who says, "The internet gun community is like a classic car. Takes a lot of time to learn it and get the real information, but treats you well at the end if you get to know them." I really like his analogy. I'm a big fan of classic cars, and I do agree. You gotta learn and take responsibility and figure it out for yourself. Because as I tell my students, knowledge that is earned and gained through your own work, you will retain. Knowledge that is just given to you is easily forgotten. So if you do the legwork and figure it out yourself and gather that information and think about it, it will last a lifetime. Then we have Matt Moore, another amazing subscriber and local fan. He says, "My experience is mostly positive. Don't forget trolls and a-holes are not unique to the gun culture community. The good far outweighs the bad." Well, he's absolutely right. You find that the online community regarding anything can bring out the worst in people. I'm not really sure if it's because you're not interacting with people and seeing their face right in front of you that you feel that you can be a little bit more bullish and I'm going to be mean to you, because there's no repercussions in the moment. I don't know, but he's absolutely right. I've seen the same negativity in the car community, the gun community. I'm sure there's some in the sports community, even though I'm not really a sports fan, and the music community. As you guys know, I'm a professional musician and teacher. And the music community, I promise you, is very cutthroat, and there's a lot of negativity out there as well. So he makes a great point that the bad people, the negative people, they're always going to be around regardless. Then we have Gort, who says, "The online firearms community to me is a potpourri, but I do believe the good outweighs the bad. Obviously, various aspects of gun ownership are currently under attack, and I believe how these are responded to will determine our success in mitigating the damage. The sites that deal in highly charged emotional negative responses will only serve to hurt the 2A cause. I tend to avoid these since they reinforce negative perceptions of gun owners. Those sites that deal in logic, fact-based responses, I embrace." Well, I agree with this one 100% too. As you guys know, I'm not a very emotional person, and I try to appeal to gun owners and people that might be on the fence about the Second Amendment using logic and reason. It's not one of those things where I go out there and they say, "The sky is falling, they're coming for your guns." I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Let's take a look at history. Let's take a look at precedents. Let's take a look at the law. Let's see what's actually going on. Because I know in the moment, and I see my Facebook feed, and yeah, I have a personal Facebook account, and I got a lot of great friends over there. And some of them are very pro Second Amendment. But the moment Joe Biden says anything, "They're coming for your guns, they're coming for guns," like, I totally get it. The emotional response I feel too when he says, they're going to crack down on FFLs. "Oh no, they're going to close every gun store." Just calm down, because, somebody can say something. We got to look at what the law actually says, what history says. You know, they could not have the power to do anything. So before we go off the deep end, which we may have to one day, by the way, but before we do, let's take a step back, take a deep breath, and just think about it, because that will often lead you to the best results. Your mind will lead you where you need to go, not your heart. And then finally, we have Bill L., who says, I listen to the information that I think is positive, and the rest goes in one ear and out the other. I agree with that completely too. That's it. It's like what I was saying before. I watch the positive YouTube channels, or the channels that I feel give me all the information I want, and I don't even subscribe or interact with those I don't like. I'm always perplexed when people give me a thumbs down in the first 2 seconds of me releasing a video, because they've already judged me because I like some gun they didn't like, or didn't like a gun that they like, and they just want to get me. And that's fine. If you want to live that way, go ahead and be negative. I'm going to be living positive, and trust me, my life is pretty darn awesome. You don't hurt me or bother me in any way, but if it makes your life better to feel like you're hurting me, go right ahead. But you do you, and I'll do me. All right, so that is the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week, and the toxicity of the firearms community online. I'm really glad to see that a lot of people think it's positive. That does give me hope, even though I probably would have voted for the neutral, but it gives me hope that so many of you guys think that this is a positive place to go for Second Amendment education. All right, so if you're watching this video, next week's poll question should be up. Please go over to the community tab on my YouTube channel. I will also put a link to it in the description below. You guys can go down there and click, vote, and of course, comment and like other people's comment and interact. I never vote in these polls, and I never respond because I don't want to influence the end result. I want this to be all about you guys and what you guys honestly think. So there you go, the Texas Gun Vault poll question of the week. I hope you guys enjoy this. I love putting these out every Sunday. It's a lot of fun to make. So let me know if you have any questions in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.